And just to give you an example of what a woman is supposed to be as far as her position, I'm going to read you Proverbs 31, part of it, where it talks about the virtuous wife. Her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax. In other words, she's busy and she's working, and willingly working with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. She brings her food from afar. She also rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and a portion for her maidservants. She considers a field and buys it. From her profits, she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good, and her lamp does not go out by night. She stretches out her hands to the distaff, and her hand holds the spindle. In other words, she's sewing her own clothes. She extends her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hands to the needy. She's not afraid of snow for her household. For all her household is clothed with scarlet. She makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is well known in the gates of the city, for he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies sashes for the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing. She shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness. She watches over the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. So I give you an example of how a productive woman should be, working with her husband, supporting him, and supporting the household. So as these wars intensify, family, and we keep telling you, yes, it's coming to your doorstep, get ready. And if your house is out of order, work together to get it in order, because that's going to be a protection for your entire household. On another note, family, the protests are continuing to heat up regarding what's going on over between Palestine and Israel. Just recently, the Brooklyn Bridge was shut down from a very large protest. They said thousands of people that were pro-Palestine, many of them were Orthodox Jews, and they were protesting for the removal of Israel. The protests had signs saying, "Flood Brooklyn for Palestine." Some of them said, "Zionism is terrorism. Abolish the settler state and free Palestine." So the people know what all 198 nations know, that that is Palestinian land, and there is no so-called nation of Israel. When we read Israel on our list of nations, it is the true state of Israel that actually resides here in what is commonly called the U.S. of A. It is not a created state in the Middle East built upon Palestinian land. So again, family, we are constantly reminding you, do not get caught up in these protests. Don't go out and start protesting the government. You need to sit down, pop your popcorn or fix a brownie or whatever, get your favorite beverage, and chill out. Stay out of the way. What is being done globally, not just in the U.S., but globally, is being done lawfully and in order from the Universal World Court on down. It's all systems and all those involved in the systems of unrighteousness, anything that is detrimental to mankind, or people that have been found to be involved in the destruction of mankind, that's being done lawfully. So you just need to stay out of the way. Get yourself indexed. If you are not indexed, go to the sovcpr.com website. Get it done and get it done quickly, because everything that Yahoshua has been telling us is being brought to soil near you. With that, I'd like to go ahead and yield the call to Dr. Hindu I.L. Henderson, the ad hoc Chief Justice of the Universal World Court. He is Yahoshua Mashiach, Son of Man, the Son of God, in the flesh. Rise and shine, sir.
Rise and shine. How do you hear me?
Very very clearly, sir.
Outstanding. I want to first say to all the callers that have called in, we do recognize and we have recommended they do call in, and at the same time we have designated this particular call for those that we classify to be members, citizens, whatever they themselves to be of the United States of America. We actually bring it to them. This is not really a call for the people that have already been indexed. This is really a call for the people who have not yet been indexed due to the fact they're the ones that need to be informed with what's going on. Those people that are now indexed are supposedly the people that have finally found out the truth. They're the ones that are now should be out doing nothing more than saving other people, explaining to other people how and why they should be indexed. It seems that the people that are now indexed just love sitting around listening to conversations rather than doing something about it in the natural form. When I tell them to sit down and relax, that's what they're supposed to be doing during their time to relax. They're supposed to be reaching out to others. And you don't have to just reach out to anybody. You don't have to go and, I would say, bug anybody. You don't have to go out now and keep informing people that you work for and lose your would-be occupation and all these things. It's not necessary anymore. Why? Because there are so many people that are out there now reaching out and looking for those of you that are already in there. They ask you how to do it. Where did you do it? And what it required of you to finish it up. They're out there. They're looking for you now. The number of people that we get on these calls, you would be astounded. And I know the majority of them are new people that have never, ever been on the call before. They have never heard this before. And believe it or not, a majority of them was once upon a time sitting on calls like Facebook, FaceTiming each other. They were Instagramming each other. They were sitting on Snapchat. They were sitting on other would-be media, such as Clubhouse and all these other would-be private, would-be small groups. And most of them were just on those would-be so-called, I call them social conversational shops. They were on there for the simple fact they were trying to find out how could they get rich. How could they get money? How can they build businesses? Some of them just wanted to open up sex shops. I'm being straightforward and truthful with you now, and I have to. I don't get a choice. So as our host now is mentioning, I want to clear that up. I haven't been telling you anything. I've been showing you. All you have to do is open your eyes. You don't have to worry about using your ears. All you got to do is open your eyes. I'm showing you. I'm not just telling you, I'm showing you. Everything that I'm talking about, I keep saying to you, all you got to do is wait a while, a couple of days, and you will see exactly what I'm saying to you. See, I came with all of the information on this planet, all of it. I know that's hard for anyone to believe or even imagine. And some of you, you just want to dismiss it so bad, or you want to reject it so bad. You want to believe that I don't have all the information. But there is no information on this planet that you or anybody else is going to find that I don't already have. None. Because I am who I say I am. I am in the position in which they have placed me. And I'm talking about the people of this universe. Maybe you don't classify yourself as the people of this universe, and that's your business. But I can tell you 198 nations right now I know to be 7 billion plus people already know exactly who I am. They've already recognized it. They're not arguing with me. They don't call me up to try to contest me. They don't call me up to even test me to see if I'm not telling them the truth. They don't do that. Normally they're calling me in reference to what's next. How do we get this done? Which direction should we go in? I'm talking about world leaders. I'm talking about sure would be so-called leaders. They're asking me, how do we get this completed? Most of them are trying to bargain with me. Some of them are even trying to bribe me. They just find out that I can't be bribed. They've been trying to bribe me now since about, I would say, 1974. Bribe me with what? Millions and billions of dollars. Even with the private, you call them islands. I don't call them islands because most of them are secluded. They don't have a whole lot on them. You know, better yet, they could be classified as an isolated area where they want to house a number of people that they can control. That's what I call them. Jeffrey Epstein, I think he had a few of them. Isolation would be vacations, they call them. I don't need it. People like William Jefferson Clinton, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, they all know where these islands are at. they might be classified that even in your book. They know exactly where they're at. They know just how isolated they are, how secluded they are. They know exactly how they are. I don't care about what they're talking about right now because their society belongs to me. It belongs to me. I've already told them that their traitors are my traitors. They are. Their spies are my spies. We share them in a common way where those traitors for them and the spies for me, they just know that they better not cross me. I'm just being straightforward with them. I don't care who they are. I don't care what group they're in. I don't care how long they've been in a group. I'm just telling you that they already recognize what's about to happen to this planet. And it's the prophecy. That's what I need everyone to understand is the prophecy. Listen to me. I just now heard, and I know you heard it because we're all listening, I just heard our host say that the balancing of the masculine force and the feminine force is out of balance. Now, and she said it's easily to put it back in balance. I don't know where she got the easy part from. I'm going to have to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you, it's next to impossible to put it back together. You know why? Because the majority of the feminine force right now has already taken charge. Yeah, they've been given that authority to take charge. By who? By the sorry would-be masculine force that wants you to believe that Mother Nature is the greatest thing on the planet. You know why? Because most of them grew up motherless. Yes. Most of them grew up fatherless. I'm talking about the people that are in charge. Most of them had a would-be jackleg of a daddy. And it was always the 3rd of September that they could only remember. Because that was the day he died. Let me help you out, what I'm saying about that. The average leader right now grew up... up without a father. So yeah, they placed everything on Mama's back to include bringing in the new PlayStation, bringing in the new outfit, bringing in all the food. And the only time they wanted to help her out is when they realized that she was having a real hard time because most of the money she was bringing in, she had to lay on her back to get it. And they didn't like seeing most of the money she was bringing in, she had to lay on her back to get it. And they didn't like seeing that because that was kind of disrespectful to them. So they began to go out and do whatever jackleg thing that they had to do in the world to try to bring in a couple of ends to help her out. Stay with me. No, I'm not attacking them. I think that's very noble of them. It's still not going to change the fact that Mother's still never going to be nothing without Father's time. Nothing. She's not going to be anything without Father's time. I said that, and I meant that. No, I'm an earthly mother, and I adored her. I sure did. I respected her, and I still do. I love her. She's not here anymore on this planet, but I guarantee if she was back, she would tell you there was no one in her house to her greater than myself, other than my father. I'm talking about when it comes down to providing for the family. And the reason I'm saying that is because she understood that that was a position of authority that had to be kept up, because if not, you could be easily overthrown in your own house. Just recently, they had this would-be story that's kind of floating around on everybody's would-be viral would-be media, where they're talking about a would-be 13-year-old child, where he supposedly stabbed his mother while she was asleep, lying right next to a newborn. And he kind of placed it instantly on Instagram so everyone could see it. You know, I'm not putting you in fear. I just need you to understand that the level of authority is no longer on the planet due to the fact that feminine force has allowed themselves, that I say, to be hoodwinked, bamboozled, and hung by their own umbilical cords. I've often said, and I will say it again, that the most dangerous would-be animal on this planet is the black mama. And I'm not talking about the deadly snake. I'm talking about that melanated female they call black mama. Not mama, but mama. It's the most dangerous animal on the planet right now. You know why? Because she just don't know how truly deadly her bite really is. She don't know. She has no clue. She don't even know that when she begins to spit her venom, that her venom is so toxic, it's so deadly, that it only takes a couple of drops of it to kill off a whole would-be clan of a family. She don't know that. So she spits her venom. She spits her venom to her friends. She spits her venom in her church. She spits her venom in her hospital. She spits her venom and her would-be so-called local sisterhood. Her venom is all over the place, always yapping, spitting venom, that venom everywhere she can, killing off generations and generations of people. No, I'm not attacking any of you. I do believe it or not, there are some black mamas that know how to protect everyone on the planet by making sure she don't put her venom out there unless it's for medical purposes only. I know so. I know a whole bunch of them. Yes, I do. You know, I'm only saying this because I know now that a lot of you that are indexed already are believing that everything is behind you. But I've already told you, if things could come that you got to be prepared for it, you got to be ready for it. I know. She's talking to you now about Isaiah chapter 3. Do you understand it right now tonight? I would love to talk to you about Isaiah chapter 3. I would love to do that. But you want to know something? There is a chapter in Isaiah that's even more important that you need to hear right now. You know what chapter that is? Chapter 24. You know why? Because chapter 24 is talking about the coming judgment on the earth. It started out by saying, because they have transgressed the law, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore, the curse has divided the earth, and those who dwell in it are desolate. Therefore, the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men are left. The new wine fails. The vine languishes. All the merry heart excites. The mirth of the tambourine cease. The noise of the jubilant end. The joy of the harp cease. They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink is bitter to those who drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. I call that New York City, believe it or not. Every house is shut up so that none may go in. There's a cry for wine in the streets. All joy is darkness. This darkness, the mirth of the land is gone. In the cities all is desolate. And the gates are stricken with destruction. When it shall be thus in the midst of the land among the people, it shall be like the shaking of an olive tree. Stay with me. I'm going to fast forward because I am still in the 24th chapter of Isaiah. So I like to tell you this part of it because it says, fear and the pit and the snare are upon you, O inhabitants of the earth, and it shall be that he who flees from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he who comes up from the midst of the pit shall be caught in the snare. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth are shaken. The earth is violently broken. The earth is split open. The earth is shaken exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. This drunkard shall totter like a would-be so-called hut. Its transgression shall be heavy upon it, and it will fall and not rise again. That's the judgment upon the earth. I'm only telling you this not to put you in any doom or gloom or fear. I need you to understand that, yes, we are all going to overcome it, no doubt about it. But I need to repeat, it's not going to be easy. Why? Because I got too many of the ones that do not want to comply. They want to believe that, oh, well, the women's going to take charge and they're going to take control and they're going to put it back together for where the man messed it up at. Let me help you out. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You want to know right now that America's leadership is in the hand of the feminine force. You want to know why they couldn't find a House Speaker? It wasn't that they couldn't find a House Speaker. They can't find a House Speaker that can speak for himself. No, he's too busy listening to what his wife said. He's too busy listening to his girlfriend. He's too busy listening to his mistress. He's too busy listening to the whores in the whorehouse in which he's going to see every night. He's too busy going to these strip bars, watching girls dance on the poles, and after they dance on the pole, he realized that they're pretty intelligent. So he sits there and talks to them, not realizing that only after she gets through educating him, she's got to make her way back to that pole. Stay with me. God almighty, they're not getting it yet, but they will. I'm talking about all of the crazy, unrighteous people on the planet. And they say they're not crazy. Oh, they're crazy. They're schizophrenic, Dr. King would say, because they're too busy standing between these two wild horses. Both horses going in two different directions. And they are too crazy to let go of the reins. Going to get pulled apart. I guarantee you. You know, I'm getting so many calls, and so many people seem to be getting interested on what's going on the planet. Just recently, I got a message of someone wanting to know about something they call the Snyder Act. Let me help you out. The Snyder Act, I'm just going to be straightforward, and then I'm going to explain it to you a little bit. The Snyder Act is a bunch of bull crap that comes from your government, the United States of America, that was set up to do one thing, confuse the people. And it really confused them. The Snyder Act is no better than what is known as the Dawes would-be so-called roll. The Dawes roll and the Snyder Act is two of a kind, a bunch of BS that a bunch of white boys sat down and put together in order that they might be able to confuse the real indigenous people, autochthonous, because we're not indigenous, we're intoxinous to this land. Those that were originally here, all of that stuff was put together to not only confuse them, but to put them in a position where they would have believed that they were about to become extinct, like the would-be buffaloes, or the Venom, whatever they call them. The Native American, again, as Hitler had told the world, when the world found out exactly who they are, he said, it is going to be a World War III like no other wars before. That's what he meant. It's already done happen. Everybody knows who the true natives of America are because they know that those people are also the true Hebrew Israelites. They also know that they're the true people of God. They also know that they're the ones they classify to be Hebrews, Israelites, and they're trying to interchange their names with Jews. They already know that. That's what the war is all about. That's what the fight is about. You're not in the rooms with everyone that's talking and discussing it. Right now, you got the Europeans like over in Russia and China. You got the Europeans that's over there in Germany. You got them that are in France and Spain. They already remember what place they went to destroy the Hebrew Israelites. It was right here where we're talking from now. They know where they went. That's what they had, the Spanish-American War, the British-American War, the Civil War. All these wars were to do nothing more than to silence the true people of God. That's what it was all about. But you know, you got the average neighborhood now of melanated black folks, colored people, negros, niggers. They don't even know who they are. They too busy killing each other off, coming up with other organizations and other little bitty tribes and groups and gangs and with the things that they put together to try to make each other inferior to one another. Stay with me. I'm just giving you the truth. I know. Native Americans, reorganization, they called it, sovereignty of the tribes. By the late 19th century, the removal of the eastern tribes, it was a declination of California people, they called it. A series of epidemics, they called it, in the plains and a high mortality rate at boarding schools seemed to confirm that Indians were vanishing. The belief that Native Americans would not survive long as a race provided a fundamental justification for all policies in which they were trying to place in position. It also supported rationalizations that indigenous views on legislation and public policies were immaterial. When it became obvious after about 1920 that North America's, the aboriginals, they call them, populations were actually increasing, then the United States and Canada found themselves unprepared to acknowledge this large advancement. So that's when they got together and they began to come up with all of these certain things. So by 1924, they came up with something they called the Snyder Act. The Snyder Act was an extension of this so-called would-be citizenship to all Indians that were born in the United States of America, that it would open the door to give them some type of would-be right to a sovereignty that they already had. Someone asked me the question, so I want to clear it up for you. I'm going to sum it up by giving you 4 letters. H-E-L-L. To hell with the Snyder Act, that's what I'm going to tell you. Because the Snyder Act, it has nothing to do with repatriation. It has nothing to do with sovereignty. And that and the Dawes would-be roll can find its way back to H-E-L-L, to hell. Because nobody's really wanting to hear it. None of the nations care about it because it's not real. It means nothing to them. All it was a would-be rush for the United States of America to cover its tracks based upon the Union soldiers of the United States of America, which was classified the Union soldiers because they were billing themselves as a union, not as a nation then. And they were killing off the Indians, doing nothing more than executing them. But you want to know something? They were executing them every day. Hanging them, cutting them open, decapitating them, burying parts of them in even different nations, only to hide the truth. Let me help you out. And they knew all the time that the true declarations that had already been written and signed, even with the so-called white man, when he was at peace with the would-be true, real Hebrew, Israelite, Indians of the land, he had already signed a declaration where he had recognized there were no red Indians south, east, north, west of what was known as the Mississippi River. So that tells you what they were signing and doing nothing more than agreement that there were no red Indians here in this land, period. So they can't be classified as the Native Americans. They already knew that. And the few of them that were here, majority of them, yes, they came from India. And they began to mix with those Indians that were already here, which was of a dark skin. And then they began to realize that even or as what was considered to be the South, going toward Mexico, that even the Mexicans were dealing with none other than those that were here, that were black Indians, and all of them was mixing together. So they began to call those black Indians Africans. And that's why you have Mexicans, you have Puerto Ricans, you have all the cans that you can find, even the Cubans. They want everybody to be a can because they want everybody to believe that they were mixed with Africans, but they wasn't. They was mixed with the Hebrew Israelites, which was already in this land, when all other lands were still nothing more than babies. They hadn't been birthed yet. Remember, all the lands was in one place. They were centered. All lands were centered. They were in one place, the Pangea. Only after the great flood did they find themselves separated. Other than that, they were right here, centered. The Garden of Eden, the center of the earth, the heart of the earth. That's where they were. I'm just giving you the fact. You know, the more and more that I get these would-be requests to clear up things for people like that, I love it. But at the same time, I be listening to the people. It's like they are so brain dead based upon the fact that they truly was classified dead when they were being born. America, you were classified dead. You do know that, right? You are considered to be nothing more than an afterbirth. I'm just telling you that. I'm being truthful with you. See, they killed off your living twin. That was the other portion. Yeah, of the umbilical cord. Everybody was attached to it. You and your twin. They killed it off. And they classified you the afterbirth. Yes. And they classified them as the living birth. And then they buried them. Listen to me. I don't care how you take it. I don't care how strange it sounds to you. I don't care how weird it sounds to you. I'm just telling you what they did in a so-called would-be intelligent manner where they knew that you were just not going to get it when that time came. They just said, oh, they're not going to get it. They will never be able to understand the truth. They're never going to be able to articulate the truth. They're never going to be able to decipher the truth. They'll never be able to concern the truth. They always said that about you. That's why they give you these would-be capital letters for your name. They believe that you were so ignorant that you ain't going to be able to understand uppercase, lowercase. Stay with me. I'm just telling you what happened. Majority of the would-be so-called documents that you find in the United States would-be so-called archives, every time you see the word race, you will see it written in lowercase letters, R-A-C-E. You never see it in uppercase letters because it's made up just for you. Race. Caucasian race. African race. Chinese race. Everybody's at the race. They haven't even fired the weapon. They haven't even fired the starting gun yet. Everybody's down the line for the race. And right now, they have the red Indians ahead of everybody, knowing that they are truly in such a small group. If you blink an eye, they will disappear. And I'm not attacking the red people. I need the red people. I understand you will never have enough people to be able to generate enough people to be able to take back this world from the armies in which are already ready and prepared to fight. It's not going to happen. There's only one nation of people that can do that. and they all are connected by the blood, and they are called the dark world. That dark world is people of color, melanated in color. I'm just giving it to you who they are. With all the fighting going on now, South Africa, North Africa, West Africa, East Africa has taken a side. They're taking a side already. They have. I know the Americans are not expressing to you, neither are they explaining to you what side they've already taken. I can assure you it's not the American side. It's not. They're not going to let in not one would-be muscle to help the United States of America do nothing. Why? Because they see the United States of America as a nation that is still being invaded by white men, European, colonial, crazy. I'm just telling you the truth. And they're not going to help it. They're coming to destroy them. That's what they're going to do. The prophecy sets right now in all would-be dark country that it is a prophecy that there will be coming a one from the dark moon, the dark star, the dark planet, the dark country. And he will rise up. And when he rises up, everything only then will it be given back its would-be true color. The lights will go dim, they will go out, and then he will bring the lights back to what we know to be illumination. Illuminine. I'm just giving you what everybody already knows. It's the prophecy. No way around it, people. You know, we got so many people that's in our community that they're the ones, I believe, are really, it's like playing against the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. Everybody's pretending to be one of the Washington Redskins' favorite would-be fans. But at the same time, they're sitting there with their fingers, their legs, and their eyes crossed, wanting Dallas to win the game. Stop it. I'm just telling you what's going on right now. But it's not going to happen. I'm just telling you the way it's going to work.